Is a Hermès bag a good investment? Let's say a Birkin. There is a huge surplus of this type of content on social media. Girls saying that they're buying it because it's an investment, or saying you should buy it because it's an investment. But is that the case? I want to look at some facts, and maybe as a smart woman, there are better things you could be investing into. My name is Karina and welcome to my channel. I talk about the milestones of how to become $1 million woman, and that includes finances, because honestly, even though the bag goes up in value, I think you can be getting your money's worth elsewhere. So just a quick search on YouTube, you can already find so many videos on this, and I'm actually going to look at this one that has 500,000 views. Is a $500,000 purse a good investment? Let's take a look if it is actually worth spending $10,000.
People's cars and houses, that's symbolic of success.
$500,000 can get you a 3,000 square foot home in Las Vegas, a Ferrari 812 Superfast, or this purse. In 2019, a diamond-encrusted crocodile Hermès Birkin bag sold for $500,000.
They said I was crazy for buying a...
That one is obviously really rare. And just as a disclaimer, this man is clearly a collector, and I am certain has money in other forms, other investments, a stock portfolio, probably a pretty solid cash flow. So for him, purchasing these luxury goods is a different story than a typical woman who is maybe starting out her business or finances, or just has a regular job. Even if he's buying the super rare crocodile, what is this, Yeti, I don't snowman, I don't know the name of this one. But even though he's buying it, if you were to look at a lower tier one, say just a normal color for $10,000 and hold that as an investment, would that be a good thing for you to do? Can you actually sell it for more what it's worth? Is it worth taking that risk? That's kind of the question we are looking at today. Him, different scenario.
A $500,000 bag. Crazy for buying $2 million worth of Birkins. Well, I already got offered $680,000 for this bag, $180,000 markup within 6 months.
Dave Wancha has joined the most exclusive purse club in the world, with members like Melania Trump, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Miranda Kerr, Jennifer Lopez, and Floyd Mayweather.
As you can tell, these people are extremely wealthy. So for them, this is just another type of investment, and they're all purchasing really rare type of Birkins, not your standard one that you can get in Europe, for example.
Victoria Beckham reportedly has a collection of 100 Birkins worth about $2 million. The Kardashians and Jenners have walls in their closets dedicated to Birkins. Birkin bags, made by French luxury brand Hermès, range in price from around $10,000 into the hundreds of thousands.
Okay, whatever. That's not the point. Let's do a little calculation. If you go into Google and put how much does a Birkin bag increase per year, you will see right here this article that I clicked on, and it says I have to pay to view it. 14.2%. And then they try to throw shade. They try to have the audacity to throw shade at the S&P 500. There's a lot of problems here, okay? This is why I advocate in investing into stocks and ETFs. You also see all these other searches as Birkin, a good investment, right? So great, 14.2%. Let's go into the compound interest calculator and say you did buy a bag for $10,000. And in, let's say, 40 years, if you hold this bag, and they say it's 14%. Let's calculate it. Your Birkin bag should theoretically be worth $1.8 million. Now, is that a reality? Most likely no, because a $10,000 Birkin is not the same as the ones that guy was showing in the beginning of the video. Although it is rare, there still is a secondhand market for it, and they are still producing these entry-level Birkin bags. Now, let's take a look at ETFs such as SPY, where the estimated interest rate is about 10 increase per year. This is what I recommend as a starter stock, and I talk about this in my wealth building program, which is extremely inexpensive and teaches you how to start investing today, no matter what income you are making. So if we calculate this, in about 40 years, your $10,000 will be $452,000. Now, you might say, I don't want to wait 40 years, but time goes by anyways. And this is the importance of investing. And let me just show you something. This is without contributing anything monthly. Say that every month I would to put in $200 on top of this, plus the compound interest, okay? We're gonna go from $425,000 in 40 years to 1.5 million. This is something you cannot do with a Birkin bag. You can't just add a $200 worth of value to it every single month. But in stocks that this article was trying to throw shade at, that is exactly what you can do, is you can keep adding on, and the power of the compound interest will continue to grow. Now, this is more than the Birkin, obviously. Another point that I want to make is that your stock account is liquid, meaning you can cash out whenever you want. You can take certain percentages of it out. You can sell certain shares. You can have your dividends as well. You can't do that with a bag at all. So here, say you have this amount or even less and you need $20,000, you can sell some shares. I don't recommend doing this, but you can. Can you do that with a Birkin? Absolutely not. There has to be a demand for somebody to want to buy it. And while you may sell maybe 2 times more later down the future, this is still a better option. That's why these websites that try to throw shade at the stock market are only doing it because they're trying to promote the selling of this Birkin bag. Let's keep watching.
Buying and selling Birkins is like playing the stock market. We really know where the market is going, what to buy and what not to buy, what to sell, what to go long on.
Engert says her clients have included the likes of Kim Kardashian, Floyd Mayweather, a Russian oligarch.
Okay, they keep trying to compare the Birkins to the stock market, and there is no comparison. And then they're showing these celebrities, like this is literally Putin. Can you relate to this? Like Kim Kardashian, Putin? Come on now, that's just unrealistic, and the value of your Birkin is not going to reach these heights whatsoever. And keep in mind, this is taking into account that you're not using the bag, that it's just sitting on your counter without being touched at all. Another thing I want to mention, what's very important, is what can you do with that bag? What can you do with your stock portfolio? When you have that bag sitting, it's just sitting there. You're either using it or you're waiting for it to increase in value. What the rich people do, and all of these people, I guarantee you have other investments besides this obviously, is they borrow against their portfolio. This is what you can do. This is how to live like the top 1% and 2% that is never taught anywhere. Is you go and say you want a loan for $100,000 and you have a stock portfolio. You can get a loan and use your stock portfolio as collateral without selling it. So the bank can give you extra money if you want to start a business, or if you just want to buy a house, something. But they see that you have assets, which is your stock portfolio, and they lend you money because they know if you ever fall back on that loan, they can take your assets. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's the thing. So you can get money lent to you at a low interest rate, and you can turn that around by starting a business, buying a house, and then renting it out to somebody else and making more of a profit. So you get to keep your stocks and your investments, while at the same time you get this extra money to build a different business. You cannot do this with a Birkin bag. Like I said, it either sits in your closet or you use it. But if you want to borrow against it, that's just not going to happen.
When visiting the Carlsbad, California headquarters of luxury consignment chain Fashion File, the company says it has about 200 to 300 Birkin bags in stock at any given time, and a variety of other Hermès knickknacks. So things that you kind of suspect people bought on their way to trying to buy a Birkin.
That's another thing that is a little bit cringe to me, is that this image of exclusivity, this image of I want to try to fit in, of I want to look a certain way, I want to be perceived a certain way, that comes from materialistic validation. In order to even potentially get access to buying a Birkin, you have to have a relationship with your sales associate, and you also need to buy a bunch of random stuff that you don't want, like keychains, scarves, smaller bags, random stuff that you would have never bought, and spend probably $10,000 before you even get offered the ability to buy this bag. And again, it's just a marketing ploy that people fall into to try to get this status and symbol. And while somebody like Kim Kardashian or the president can do that easily and probably gets offered this all the time, for an average person, it's just not a smart thing. You're falling into someone else's marketing ploy to make them more money while you are being left with empty pockets and you still don't have the bag. So you're essentially trying to prove your worth to somebody that you deserve to have this bag. And the way you do that is by spending your money on things that you might not necessarily want. And I don't really like that.
For Hermès, for me to get that bag, sit on the wait list, I have to buy a bunch of scarves and agendas and belts and bring coffee to my sales assistant and butter her up. I'll pay $1,500 more now. It's probably cheaper than going through that entire.
I don't think it's extra $1,500. I think it's definitely a lot more. They're just saying this for the marketing. There are companies that do offer these bags. Of course, it's going to be higher than what you would get it at retail price, but you don't have to spend your money on all that random stuff. But it's definitely more than $1,500. It's like 30 or 40% the cost, which at that point might as well just buy all the other extra stuff just to have it. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video because the rest of this is pretty much irrelevant. I just wanted to make the point across that it's not an investment, because you cannot just liquidate it. You can't add value to it so it appreciates more and compounds even more. And you also cannot take loans against it like you can with your stock portfolio. And that is why, again, it is a marketing thing for people to want to buy this. Buy this because we're exclusive. Buy this because we're an investment. Buy this because it's going to go up in value. It's better than the stock market, but that's just not statistically true. It's not realistic. It doesn't make any sense, okay? So if you want to start investing, do so right now. Don't wait. I was waiting for too long. And when you open up that mindset of that growth mindset of your money, not just depreciating, but growing, it's truly, truly wonderful. If you don't know how to do it, I'll make more videos on it. But until then, you can check out my wealth program down below. My name is Karina, and I'll see you in the next video.